Hello my friends, we're on the way to pick up some very needed stuff for the boat.
Yeah, like groceries.
There
We
you
always need groceries.
Yes we do. Now we are ready to go actually. I've already brought down the dinghy. It's in the water, waiting on Fatima's.
I dream of sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Take me far away. Sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Freedom on the seas, my love. Dancing on the waves to warm places we don't know. Loving life Madonna style and steady as we go. I dream of sailing.
She's a slowpoke. Anyway, I got my handy toolbox, which we use kind of like a shopping cart. So when we go grocery shopping, that's what we bring. And this, believe it or not, fits a lot of stuff. We generally can get a cart full in here, put the heavy stuff here. Anyway, also last video I did was on the replacement of the dinghy tubes, which only took us 20 months to receive it from the manufacturer. Of course, they blamed it on COVID, but glad to have them. They're nice and tight. They fit nicely around the contour of the hull, so feels a lot better. Dinghy looks like a new dinghy. Got a new neighbor in our anchorage. Pulled out over there.
And we've lost a neighbor, even though they were never on their boat. But the Pelican boat.
Yes.
The orange Pelican boat is one.
Yeah.
Came out one morning and saw that there were two dinghies around it. Come out half an hour later and discovered that it was gone. It was like, they didn't even say goodbye.
Yeah, no. Sailors are so rude. They're stuck up.
Except the poor sailboat didn't have a mast, didn't have any sails.
No, but it had a perfect perching area for all the pelicans in the neighborhood.
That's why the tour boats hold its Pelican boat.
Okay, so this is where we park the dinghy. But the police have been putting a stop to anybody parking here. Don't ask me why. I read the rules, the park rules for the county, and does not say anything about that.
Oh my goodness, there's hula hoopers. Not hula hoopers,
You're going to Whole Foods.
yeah?
Emphasize on this Amazon market thing. You know how we get our orders. So, some of you may not know, but we order a lot of stuff is online because we don't walk to every specialty store to pick up everything that we need. We rely mainly on Amazon, but even when it's not Amazon, do a lot of online purchases. When it's Amazon, in most cases, they offer the availability of being shipped to Amazon lockers, which are staggered throughout several retail locations. 7-Eleven sometimes, which they have over here in Sarasota, as a Dropbox location. So you have to look to see what's the closest point to a more or the most convenient place next to you, and most likely they will have an Amazon locker over there somewhere. And so what happens is Amazon sends you, of course, the tracking, but once the item has arrived at the Amazon lockers, they send you a notification that your items have arrived, and they give you an access code to the lockers or locker that the item was dropped off. So it makes it pretty convenient, but that is not all cases. For instance, on this order, I had put the wiring from one vendor at Amazon, and when it was to check out, it's okay. When it was to check out, it prompted me with a problem that those items, or some of those items, could not be delivered to an Amazon locker. So I went back and restocked the shopping cart with from different vendors until I filled it up with vendors that would actually ship it to an Amazon locker. So when it's something that I need and I can't find it, or there's no way to get it shipped to an Amazon locker, up to this point we've been using my daughter's address here in Sarasota, where things get delivered to. And then we set up a time where we meet up, and I gather all both my mail and my deliveries delivered to us over there where we anchored, well, where we parked the dinghy.
And here's where I've gotten some of my plants. As you can see, some of them are recognizable. Others I've tried clippings and they didn't survive.
Fatima's favorite spot for her plants. You can see, we see a lot of these on the boat. We see quite a few species that are throughout these planters, because she'll come and snip.
It doesn't hurt the plant.
I try to keep a distance when she's doing that in case she's arrested. She's gonna need somebody to go claim her.
Bail me out.
No, just claim.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, that's my wife. She's the one that did it.
Oh, good Lord.
So from where we where we docked the dinghy to here, it's basically a 10-minute walk. And we're in the heart of Sarasota over here. This is downtown. We're not on Main Street. Main Street is the next one down. But it's all based around restaurants and a few galleries and a lot of this foot action. And on every weekend they'll come out and I actually really like this woman's voice. She reminds me of Raven.
Right.
Raven.
Let me get my mask. Hold on.
Yeah. There was a singer in Key West that we went and saw a few times in one of the restaurants. Yeah. Her stage name, at least, was Raven. She was really good, and this woman's voice kind of reminds me of that. So anyway, when Amazon does send a confirmation, I pick it up on my email. Loading and loading. And here it is, my Amazon confirmations, and that's what we're here to pick up. Open it up, and it will have a number right there. That's the number I punch in, and the locker will open up. Take it with you. Talk about the lockers.
Okay, here's the Amazon pickup locker. Locker 2. Okay, open locker 3.
I got the card upstairs. So anyway, that's basically it. You enter one code, and if you have multiple items, it opens up. Good. I got my work ahead of me to put these things together. Got some hot wire to do my battery banks, which right now it's on the 10 off. So this should make a difference. This should be the black. I hope they are the same. I don't think so, by the packaging.
Okay.
What is this? Oh, the crimping tool. Crimping tool and cutters. And the other roll of wire, which look. Alright, we're gonna spend a little time just checking to see what they have here. Because from here we gotta go, even though this is a supermarket, we're gonna go to Publix that has
A wider variety.
a wider variety, not focused on so much on just organic. And this store does have a lot of stuff that's more for organics.
You go down to the river, gonna see the good life that people live. You don't have to work, don't need no money. Everybody's got a lot of love. Yeah, I say we will keep on turning.
I could listen to this all day long. I love guitar.
Acai bowl is delicious.
He's pretty good. I like his style. I like his style. He changes just enough away from the original.
What you said was true. Gonna sit down here. That's all days long. That's all days. That's all days long. Take the big by the red. Get a little something that's manifest now. Take the big by the hand. Take the seal of the rock and roll band. And we move in break. Hello, thank you. All day. Feel cool and crying. Well, I knew everyone we knew believed. Yeah, what we said was true. Gotta sit down there. That's all days long.
We made it. We got a dinghy full of groceries.
On our way back to the boat with our groceries.
Water's a little choppy. $200 worth of groceries in a couple of bags. Well, here I am getting ready to redo the wires on my house bank, which is right underneath the area that we're sitting on. I got my 4-gauge red wire, which is for the positive. And these are copper, very flexible stuff, so easy to work with. And I have 25 feet. I believe they're both 25 feet each. At least that's what I had ordered. I have over here a package of heat shrink. Make sure I shrink all these connectors. I have a bag of post connectors as well. And the heat shrink this size will fit both the cable and the terminal, so that will work out pretty well. All I have is black, but I have the cables that are color coded. Anyway, have my little lighter to heat shrink them, scissors, and a small knife to strip the very end of the wire, because I don't have wire strippers for this size. And I did pick up was also heavy duty crimpers, and these are not expensive. This was $24 for the set. Crimpers and cutters. You need heavy duty crimpers to crimp this up. So, and I believe this is a dial in for the size of the crimps that you're doing. I think it's a dial wheel on there. Yeah, you probably push it in.
This goes back like that?
Yeah, you push it in and you go, yeah, I guess to store it. And you change the size of the tooth for the size connector you're doing. Heavy set, heavy gauge wire cutters, which this was a 2-in-1 kit, so they both came together as a kit. And like I said, this is not going to be long lasting, but this will be able to cut my wire without a problem. Should be a nice clean cut on that. So we are getting ready to start the first process. The first part of the process, I'm assuming, will be opening up the compartment and get wire lengths. Now I'm going to show along this a diagram that I made that show both the current, how it's wired up currently, and my proposed, and what I think I want to do is actually use them both. I'm going to keep the 10 amp wire that's over there with its fuse, and I'm going to go with 2 leads coming from the end of the 12 gauge of the 4 gauge, and that should not hurt it any, and it should equalize the batteries even better, if my understanding is correct. So if I open up this floor, opening up the floor compartment, the first bay over here will have a couple of batteries. And these are Firefly batteries, 116 amp hours each. So there are 2 right there, and there will be 3 on this compartment right here, and the last 2 towards the end of the Now, with this, I posted on Facebook, Catamaran, actually, privileged Catamaran group of people that have the same boat that I got here. And that's for opinions and their knowledge, their skill set and asked what they had. And basically, I know this was a factory and this was done by engineers, so I don't want to take any credit for what I'm doing here or saying in any way that the engineers did not do this boat justice. I am just saying that I would rather be heavier on my wiring than what's here, and the reason for that is because I am getting a voltage drop. If I do a reading on these batteries, I'll be reading a couple of tenths different than what I am at my meters. So I will see if I can improve on that in any way. Well, anyway, I feel good about this retrofit. All the batteries are hooked up with a 4-gauge wire, negative to negative, 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 and the last negative on that side, which also comes back and it comes to here. So I'm picking up the negative from this end and the positive from that end where fan is covering up. So that way all the charging equals between each battery. It forces the current to go through from battery to battery to reach the other side. In here, I mean, I did quite a cleanup. I had all the wires, and then if I needed to add more batteries, it would be somewhat restricted and I would probably have to add wires anyway, and this would probably not accommodate for nine batteries, which I will end up doing, but this will. So I will just be able to add 2 more batteries on this area that I'm standing on. So I have to modify this, make a bottom for it and the tray. And I have these 2 back here, which I never had that one filled up. I had an AGM just sitting in there, but I don't have them hooked up. And when I made this, I already made this wire long enough to reach that bay right there just by reversing probably the terminal to be the negative on this side rather than that side. And then a positive will just jump from here through to the other positive and everything in between. So I can cut these wires. I got enough to be able to cut up the length in between to loop that one over here to the next one and to the center location. So I think that this will do. But also behind this I had one lug that was fairly loose on there, surprisingly loose. So maybe that was part of the problem, I don't know, but either way we already established that this setup is a lot better. So time to get these doors back on, They can only go in, and they're in order, they can only go in back here. These 2 right up in the middle, and this one on the outside. Is that the way? Yep. Well, thanks guys for watching another episode of Work on Idols.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, no, work on idols. And that's the trend here. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications for future videos that come out. This channel is growing, and thanks to you guys. So if you don't mind sharing some of these videos with your friends, they might also like it too. Take care. See you next time.